Are you a lowly hollow wandering around the lands of Lordran, barely making a dent in your enemy's armour? Well, did you know that dotted around Dark Souls, there are 4 blacksmiths that, for a small fee, will take your weapon of choice and not only upgrade it to unleash even more power, but with the right tools, enchant it with the power of the gods. And on top of that, one blacksmith is hiding a secret trinket in plain sight, ready for the looting. So let's dive straight in. Andre of Astora is more than likely the first blacksmith that you will encounter on your journey through Lordran. He is located below the bonfire at the bottom of the stairs in the Undead Parish. From your very first encounter, Andre has the ability to upgrade your weapon from its base state up to +5. This will increase most starter weapons' damage output by around 50% and can mean the difference between death and victory. In addition to this, if you locate and give Andre of Astora various embers, this will then give him the ability to further upgrade your standard weapon to its maximum level of +15, or ascend them down the divine, occult, or raw upgrade paths depending on which embers you give him. For more information on where to locate these embers, check out my video linked at the top of the screen. Not only can Andre upgrade your weapon and armour, but he will also repair any damaged armaments too. In addition to this, he also acts as a merchant, selling various weapons, armours, and the Crest of Artorias, which for 20,000 souls opens the closed gate within the heart of the Darkroot Garden, and leads to the Sith boss battle and the Forest Hunters Covenant. He also sells the Weaponsmith box, the Armoursmith box, and the Repair box for 2,000 souls apiece, giving you the ability to upgrade and repair your weapons and armour from any bonfire. The item you will more than likely purchase the most are Titanite shards for 800 souls each, and these are required to upgrade your weapon from their base state up to +5. As with many NPCs, you can also learn a gesture from Andre. To do this, select the Learn Gesture option from his menu, and Andre will then teach you the Hurrah gesture, free of charge. Finally, while this is not recommended, it is possible to attack and kill Andre of Astora, and if you do manage to win this fist fight, you will be rewarded with 1,000 souls, 3 humanities, the Blacksmith Hammer, and the Crest of Artorias. But bear in mind that once he is killed, you will not be able to ascend your weapon past the +5 level. If by some chance you accidentally attacked Andre, fear not, as with all NPCs, it is possible to reverse this aggro by absolving your sins with Oswald of Karim, located in the lower level of the Undead Parish's bell tower. He will appear after you have defeated the Bell Gargoyles and rung the Bell of Awakening, located at the top of the tower. The price to absolve your sins is 500 souls per soul level, so for example, a level 10 player will need to pay 5,000 souls to absolve their sins. But prithee be careful, there is no way to reverse an NPC's death. While Andre of Astora may be the first blacksmith you encounter on your playthrough of Dark Souls, Rickert of Vinheim can be found much sooner in the game, as he is located at the beginning of the New Londo Ruins, which is a quick elevator ride down from Firelink Shrine. Once in New Londo Ruins, head towards the cliff edge, and you will find the self-imprisoned Rickert in the cell at the bottom of the broken staircase. By default, Rickert can ascend your +5 standard weapon into a magic weapon, but to do this and upgrade it to its +5 state will require green Titanite shards, which unfortunately are not available until later on in the game. Once you have located and given Rickert the large magic ember and the enchanted ember, he will then also be able to upgrade your +5 magic weapons either to its maximum level of +10 or ascend it into an enchanted weapon. In addition to his blacksmithing abilities of upgrading and repairing damaged weapons and armour, Rickert also has several items for sale, which will allow access to magic sorceries for anyone that didn't pick the sorcery class at the start of the game. He sells the Sorcerer's Catalyst for 500 souls, the Soul Arrow for 2,000 souls, and the Heavy Soul Arrow for 4,000 souls. While it is possible to attack and kill Rickert with a long weapon such as a spear, there is almost zero benefit for you to do so, as he will only drop 1,000 souls when killed. Fair warning, due to being stood on a very narrow broken staircase on a cliff edge means that attempting to kill Rickert will most inevitably result in your character falling to their death as the attack animation pushes you backwards.
Damn, you've gone hollow, have you? Forget about it. I have nothing more to say. Be gone. Oh, go away. There's nothing here for you. Nothing at all.
Around the halfway mark of Dark Souls, you will enter Anor Londo. After a bit of traversal, you will now have access to the Giant Blacksmith. You can locate this friendly giant by following the staircase in the chamber prior to Ornstein and Smaug, all the way up to the top, and then descend the staircase from the far right hand side of the top floor. The Giant Blacksmith by default will allow you to ascend a +10 standard weapon into a lightning weapon, and then further upgrade it to its maximum level of +5. In order to do this, you will need Titanite chunks and a Titanite slab for its final level of +5. In addition to ascending weapons down the lightning upgrade path, once you locate and give the Giant Blacksmith the Crystal Ember, he will also be able to ascend a +10 standard weapon into a crystal weapon. Also by default, the Giant Blacksmith is the only blacksmith in Dark Souls that wields the strength to forge boss weapons. To do so, you will need to take the relevant boss soul and an applicable +10 standard weapon to him in order for him to forge it. For more information on all the boss weapons and what you need to do to forge them, check out my video, Slay Like a Boss in Dark Souls, linked at the top of the screen. Of all the blacksmiths, the giant blacksmith has the largest assortment of wares for sale, including the weaponsmith box, the armorsmith box, and the repair box for 2,000 souls apiece, again giving you the ability to upgrade and repair your weapons and armour from any bonfire. You can also purchase the giant halberd, giant shield, giant's armour set, on top of a whole plethora of arrows and bolts. He has a full stock of titanite shards for 800 souls, large titanite shards for 3,800 souls, green titanite shards for 4,800 souls, and finally, he is the only merchant who sells twinkling titanites at a mere 8,000 souls apiece. If you are both strong enough in body and mind to try and fell this friendly giant, then you will be rewarded with the Blacksmith Giant Hammer.
Oi, stop that.
If all these goodies and trinkets don't seal the deal for the giant blacksmith being the best forger in the lands, well, did you know that tucked up just behind him is a hidden chest containing the Hawk Ring, a very useful item for players who utilise ranged attacks, as it boosts the range of bows and crossbows by a flat 65. Please note that you do not need to kill the giant blacksmith in order to obtain this ring. You can simply just walk around him.
You come, I forge, we talk. You, good friend, I, very happy.
A blacksmith that many a Dark Souls player could easily miss is Vamos the Blacksmith. He is located at the very bottom of the catacombs, and can initially be accessed after the first revolving bridge by following the staircase all the way down, and then dropping down onto the platforms to ease your fall. Once you drop into his area, you will get a small cutscene where he breaks a hole in the wall, leading to the large area before Pinwheel, with all the Bonewheel skeletons. In the remastered version of Dark Souls, you will also have a warpable bonfire next to Vamos, so getting to him once you have the Lord's Vessel is much easier. By default, Vamos can upgrade a +5 standard weapon into a fire weapon, and then further upgrade it to its +5 form, but this will require green titanite shards. Once you have located and given Vamos the large flame ember, he will then also be able to upgrade your +5 fire weapons to its maximum level of +10, and if you give him the chaos flame ember, he can then also ascend your +5 fire weapons into a chaos weapon. To take either the fire weapon to +10 or the chaos weapon to +5 will require red titanite chunks and a red titanite slab for the final level increase. Even though Vamos is hiding away down in the catacombs, he does still have some wares to sell. These include homeward bones for 500 souls, titanite shards for 800 souls, the weapon and armorsmith boxes for 2,000 souls apiece, and an array of arrows and bolts. As with all the blacksmiths, if you are intent on killing Vamos, you will be rewarded with the Hammer of Vamos and the Royal Helm, but this is at the cost of losing his forging abilities.
Enough with your presence. It disturbs me.
And for now, that's it. As mentioned in the video, you can check out my videos on Dark Souls Embers and Dark Souls boss weapons right here. But before you go, make sure to let me know in the comment section below who your favourite blacksmith is, and how long you lasted when you inevitably tried to kill them. Thanks for watching, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Dark Souls content.